To amen or not to amen? That's the question. So a lot of us have been in church at some point in our lives, and we've heard an amen come up in the congregation. You may have even been in church at some point and heard the pastor or a leader almost ask amen, like they're waiting for a response to that amen. And with that, you may have heard the congregation respond with amen. Okay, but the truth of the matter is, we should not be amening everything. Some people say amen, thinking that it means simply that what the person that is speaking is saying is true. But amen is actually more than that. Amen means so be it or let it be so. Okay, so in other words, if you're saying amen, then you're saying you not only agree that what's being said is true, but you're also saying that that's the way you want it to be. Okay? So, for example, Jesus, God in the flesh, came to the earth and died, taking all the sin of the world on himself, so that whosoever would believe on him and trust in him and his finished work on the cross would be saved. Amen. That is true. And I want everyone to come to the knowledge of that truth and be saved. Now, another example. This world is a dark and hateful place where so many people hate the truth and prefer to believe lies. Now, that is true. There are a lot of people in this world. There's a lot of darkness and hatred in this world. There are a lot of people that hate the truth and would rather believe lies. But should I amen that? In other words, is that what I want to be true? No. Here's another example. Before Jesus rescued me, I was broken, I was hopeless, and I was lost. But by his grace, I have been and am being transformed. Amen. Last example. A lot of people proclaim to be Christians. But as Jesus said in Matthew chapter 15, verse 8, this people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and they honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. Again, sadly, that is true. But let that not be our amen. Let our amen be that we will proclaim, love, and follow Christ with all our hearts, with all our souls, with all our minds, and with all our strength. Amen.